December 6th, 2021. This is so weird to read out loud. It's the end of 2021, and I'm kind of just looking back on everything that happened this year. I made a lot of bad choices with money, so I feel like I failed there. My husband, Emin, is super depressed, and he has been for a long time, and I can't fix it. I can't do anything about it, so for the last few months, I've kind of just had to watch it happen, and it's been the worst thing ever. And I feel like I go through a mental breakdown every week, and I feel insane like 90% of the time. I just can't get a hold of myself. I'm scared for next year because I don't want to fail again. I feel like I failed a shit ton this year, and I kind of just went through the whole year half asleep, if that makes sense. I feel like my life is just happening to me and I have no control. I'm not awake or purposeful with anything I do. I just kind of go through every day blindly and then go to sleep hoping the next day will be better, but I don't ever do anything about it. Also, not to be dramatic, but for some reason I think about suicide a lot. And I don't want you guys to freak out when you hear that. Don't call the cops on me. I'm not gonna kill myself. I just think about it all the time. It sounds really sad, but I promise it's not. It's just my life. I've dealt with these thoughts since I was a child. I remember thinking this when I was 10. It's just I can't handle what goes on in my brain, and I can't handle letting people down. I can't handle hurting people. I can't handle feeling like a failure or like a bad person. And so maybe it's intrusive thoughts. I don't even know what it is, but it feels like someone who isn't me is yelling at me. They're I should just kill myself because I'm ruining everybody's life. So I might as well make their lives easier. When my husband gets upset with me because I'm really forgetful or because I'm bad with money or something like that, my instant thought is well, I should just commit suicide. It's not even I do it on purpose. I'm not doing it out of I don't tell him this all the time. It is a genuine thought that crosses my mind because I'm I should just do that to get rid of all the bad stuff in my life. But it actually doesn't work because if I died, I would make everyone else's life worse too. I might be messing stuff up when I'm alive, but if I were to kill myself, then people in my life would have to deal with that pain. And then it's 100 times worse. I've had friends who have people they love kill themselves. And that's something that you don't ever get over. And me not wanting to let my husband down or not wanting to be a burden or whatever. And so I'm just gonna go kill myself. That just adds another burden because then he has to deal with the death of somebody he loves. And that sucks. People might genuinely be better off if I disappeared from their lives. There might be less stress and less mess ups, and I might not bring them down like I do now. At least that's how I feel sometimes. But there's no way to disappear without causing someone pain. You can't, sometimes I wish I just never existed. Sometimes I wish I could just reverse my life and just go back to nothing. You know what I mean? And I don't want you guys to be so sad about this. I'm literally gonna play happy music so you guys don't think this is some super sad thing. I'm not gonna kill myself, okay? I promise. I'm just explaining that it pops into my brain a lot as an out, but it's not an out. And I know that. I need to go to therapy. I really do, because I know that if I let myself get mentally ill enough, then I might not have that logic anymore, and I might not be able to convince myself that people wouldn't actually be better off without me. I know that can get worse, so I know I need to go to therapy, and I will. But I started going to yoga. Not doing therapy yet, but I am doing yoga because I used to do it a few times a week before the pandemic started, but then I stopped doing it. But I know that it's really good for you, and I am trying to take care of myself. I'm trying to be mature. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to have a good life, which turns out is really, really fucking hard. Turns out it's really hard to have a good life. I don't know why. I have to do all these things to not be sad, to not be anxious, or feel like shit all the time, or want to kill myself, or all this bad stuff. I have to do yoga, and I have to go to therapy, and I have to wake up at a certain time, and I have to have certain routines. That is just crazy to me. When you're born and you're a kid, you don't think that you have to have some plan and thing to keep you going. You think that you're just gonna be happy all the time, and you're just gonna keep going. But turns out it's really hard to be alive. It's really hard to stay alive and to stay happy. Most people stay alive and they just are unhappy. But staying alive and being happy is so much work. It is so much effort on top of having to work and make money and think about pressure. And oh my God, let's not even talk about finances. That's the biggest issue in my life right now. I mentioned earlier that I made a lot of mistakes this year. And honestly, one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, probably one of my only genuine life regrets, is buying a Tesla. okay? I bought a really expensive car. Basically, at the time we bought it, we had 2 cars already that were paid off. They were cheaper cars. It was my first car that I bought when I was 18, and we were about to sell it, and we were like, okay, we'll just sell it and we'll get a Tesla because we're moving to California. We'll save money on gas and like, we'll be able to afford it. I don't know why we thought this. I don't know why we thought this, but the monthly payment was like $800 a month, which is so much money. But we were like, it's fine. I don't know why we thought it was fine. I think that I just live in like a not real world. I don't know if it's because I'm sad or what, or if I'm just crazy, but like I live in the future and I'm like, everything's gonna be fine. Like it's gonna work out. It's gonna be cool. I'll have this $800 a month payment. I'm never gonna have to think about it. It's just gonna work out. But that's not the case. And I'm telling you guys about this because I got this Tesla and a lot of people are like, oh my God, she got a Tesla. I see my friends are like, oh, you have a Tesla. Like people just assume that like if you have an expensive car, that means you have a lot of money. But the truth is like my bank account is constantly drained and people comment on my videos and they're like, she's super rich. I don't know why she's complaining about money. But like, it doesn't matter how much money you bring in every month. If you spend all of your money, you don't have money. And like, I don't know why. I don't know where it goes. I don't know how it happens, but like, it just goes away. And this isn't me complaining like, oh, I have the worst job. I don't make enough money. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have terrible habits and I decided to buy a car that I can't afford. And I lied to myself and my husband lied to himself and we both just convinced each other that it was fine, but it wasn't fine. It's really embarrassing. Because people don't talk about this. Like people, especially YouTubers, don't talk about not having money. They don't talk about spending all of their money. They don't talk about debt. They don't talk about the fact that just because you get an expensive car or an expensive house or expensive clothes or whatever doesn't mean you have money. To have a beautiful, expensive car and live in a really cute apartment and live in LA, but then also have no money to your name is not fun. Like it just makes you feel like a failure and it makes you wish that you made different choices, but you can't go back and you just have to like take steps back. You can't change the past. You can just kind of revert back. And it's really embarrassing because I'm going to sell my car and people are going to be like, where'd her Tesla go? People start to see you differently when you have something expensive. And then when you're really not that and you're just kind of putting on a show because you're like, oh, everything's fine. I'm not, spending all of my money every month and really stressed about money. And like my marriage isn't super impacted by this. Everything's fine. You just feel like a fraud and you feel dumb and you feel stupid. And I just wish I could change it. So I wish more people talked about money and like how embarrassing it is and how everybody goes through money struggles, even rich people, even influencers. I normally would not make a video about this. I normally would want to hide something like this. I want to look good, but like it's not real. I don't want this video to be me just ranking on myself, but I just honestly wanted to write my honest thoughts and be a real human being on the internet because everybody on YouTube is just trying to get your attention and trying to, distract you from your life or your feelings or reality. And it's just like, this is fun. Click on this. This is crazy. And I know that a lot of you guys are probably going through really similar things. So I just wanted to be honest and real with you guys. And I hope that you understand. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple days with my next video. Goodbye.